how long a DV lottery visa is valid, before you move to the United States of America. On paper, this is how it works. It says that once you get your visa, that visa has 6 months of validity. From the day you got it and until it expires, it has to be 6 months. Yes, that is how it works on paper. But the validity of your visa depends on the validity of the medical exams that you did. So as you know, before going to interview, you have to do the medical checkups. So the medical exams are valid for 6 months, and the validity of your visa depends on the validity of your medical exams. Okay, I know at this point it sounds a bit puzzling, but don't worry, I'm going to break it down step by step and you are going to understand. So for you to understand it clearly, I am just going to share my experience. So let me start by the date of my medical exams. The date of my medical exams was on the 17th of March 2022. That is the day I went to do my medical exams, the day I went to a physician to do my checkups. My interview was on the 7th of April. So I would say something like 3 weeks later. And then after my interview, I did not become issued the same day. I was put on AP, which stands for Administrative Processing. If you want to know more about administrative processing, please click on the link that appears here, okay? So I was put on AP on the 7th of April. I became issued, my case became issued, which means that the visa has been printed on my passport on the 29th of July 2022, and my visa was to expire on 17th September 2022. So let me try to recap. I got my medical exams on the 17th of March. I did my interview on the 7th of April. I was put on AP. It lasts more than 4 months from the 7th of April to the time I become issued on the 29th of July. And then my visa was to expire on 17th of September 2022. See, so if you try to do the calculation, 17th of March, the day I did my medical, to 17th of April, the day that my visa was supposed to expire, if you try to do the calculation, it will show you 6 months in total. So the validity of my visa started the first day I went for the medical exams. So the first day you go to do your medical examination, that's when the validity of your visa starts. That is even before you go to the interview. You don't know if you're going to be issued this visa, but the first day you put your feet at the doctor's clinic, that's when the validity of your visa starts. So if you try to calculate 17th of March to 17th of September, it's 6 months. But I went for the interview on the 7th of April and I was not given visa right away. My visa became issued or became available on the 29th of July, something like 4 months later. So normally, if only the visa lasts 6 months, this is what was going to happen. After I got my visa on 29th of July, I was going to count 6 months later from that day. So that was going to be August, September, October, November, and December. So normally, after I got my visa available on my passport on the 29th of July, my visa was supposed to be still valid until 29th of December 2022. But this is not what happened. What happened is that I did my medical exams on the 17th of March. I went for the interview on the 7th of April, I was put on AP. I became issued on the 29th of July, and my visa was to expire on 17th of September. So that means the validity of my visa started the first day I went for medical, which was 17th of April. And if you calculate 17th of April to 17th of September, the date that my visa was supposed to expire, if you try to calculate, it gives you 6 months. So that unfortunately shortened the time of the validity of my visa from the day I got my visa as me being issued, because I became issued on the 29th, but my visa was supposed to expire 2 months later instead of 6 months. Therefore, the validity of the visa, of DV visa, it's 6 months, but it depends on the validity of the medical. So if you were to try to calculate how long your visa will last, if you happen to be given the visa, start counting from the day you went to do your medical. So therefore, since this is the situation, this is what I am going to suggest to you guys to avoid finding in a situation whereby you have been given visa, but you cannot travel to the United States of America because that visa become expired before even travel, or is going to expire within days. So once you did your medical, please try to start counting down as from that day. And if you are put on AP, I will suggest you to start preparing for leaving your country to traveling to the United States of America, because AP might last even 5 months. If it lasts 5 months, that means that if your visa became available, it's going to be only valid for 1 month. So if you have been preparing right after you have been put on AP, it is going to give you enough room to get some money, because you'll be already enough prepared to get some money, to gather some money together, and for a few days, then you can travel and come to the United States of America. So to recap, the validity of visa, it's 6 months. That is true, but it depends on the validity of your medical exams. If you found this video interesting, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.